guys, working on some more stair treads for a custom staircase. There was a big tree put in this home in Lake Placid. This tree trunk, these 5-inch thick, large stair treads spiral down around the tree. I've been commissioned to carve each one out and make it look like a flowing creek or stream all the way down the staircase. So we've got to get them carved, and we'll achieve the look with epoxy and river stones, things like that. The first time being here, be sure to give me a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. If you want to pick up an available carving of mine, check out that shopping bag, as we have pieces ready to go, ready to ship. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. Yep. Work on steps. How's it going, Sue? Hope you had a good Easter. My Easter weekend from Friday evening until today, and I still have more to do, consisted of putting new wiring in the house. It's been tons of fun. Had a short we didn't know about until smelled plastic burning. Luckily we caught it. The house didn't burn down. That would have been awful. And yeah, so I have spent the last several days rewiring half the basement and half my kitchen. Old house with a bunch of old wiring that's not updated, tied into new wiring. Just a mess from previous owners, so glad we caught it though. Hey Karen, how's it going? How's it going, everybody? Working on those custom stair treads. There's one kind of carved out. Working on cleaning and refining this one up. Haven't done any carving since our last live working on these. I've been smelling burning plastic. I walked down into my basement and found an old light fixture that's been smacked and whacked by myself and the kids going down into the basement. It was basically smoldering and melting the plastic for the electrical that goes to the light. So I had to kill the power to that, which killed the power to the lights in the basement and the lights in my kitchen and my mudroom. It's really fun to find out how they wired your house in the late 1800s. It's such a wonderful thing to find. And yeah, so spent Friday kind of tracing wires back and relabeling things, and then spent all of Saturday with my brother-in-law giving me a hand, basically ripping wire out of the house, feeding new wire, yeah, through the basement for basement lights, and then ripping a bunch of wire out of the kitchen and running all new. And then spent like an hour or two on Easter just kind of getting outlet areas kind of prepared. And then a couple hours yesterday getting light fixtures put back in place. And then today got the lights in the kitchen back on. But I gotta run one more wire for the basement lights. And then I wanna hook up, I'm just gonna put in some new outlets for the kitchen. I gotta do that still, so. It's been lots of fun. Lots of fun. I was working on it today and I was like, all right, I'm done. I gotta go carve something for a little bit. I had about enough of this. Saturday was gorgeous, spent the whole day in the house. Today's nice, I already spent most of the day working on that. But I gotta get more work done on these. I need to get this job like rolling. Funny, one of my daughters said to my wife as I was working on the kitchen and running wires, ripping this old crap out. One of my daughters said to my wife, she said, how the heck does Dad know how to do all this stuff? And my wife said, I really don't know. Just cracked me up. So my wife says this to me later on, you know, she's telling me about their little conversation about me wiring the kitchen and all the things that I do around our home and whatnot. And I said, you know, when you're the kind of person, or you're in a, you're not the rich folk type, it tends to be more of a blessing to learn how to just do things, you know. I figure with the job that we've been working on right now, as far as that stuff goes, we'd probably be thousands in the hole, rather than a few hundred for materials. I told my daughter, I said, it's good to, if you're looking for a boyfriend and then eventually a man, I said, it's good to find a guy that knows how to do stuff. Unless you plan on hitting the lottery and paying for it all the time. Ugh. Yeah, that's not fun, Michael. What's going on, Rustic Rich? Phone's getting dusty. Working on custom steps for a spiral staircase. A lot of you have already heard it, but we always have new people jumping on, so customers have a big log from one floor up to the next, and 15 steps spiral down. I've been commissioned to take those steps and turn them into what's going to look like a flowing stream down around the staircase. So each tread has to get carved out, cleaned up, so we can fill it with epoxy, stones, maybe some fish, other items the customer wants in there, along with LEDs. And yeah, then we get to bring them and reinstall. But I will have a video with it all done and be able to share the completed project. So if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button for me. Like the video while you're here. If anybody watching is interested in any carvings or art of mine, I have pieces available in that shopping tab ready to ship out. Have all these marked, and I gotta remember to mark what number step on the end before I sand it, and what the gap is between the steps. So that's going to be the waterfall look, and each one's a little different. So this one's about 1.5 inches. Mark it on the bottom, you won't see it. This side's 1.75 inches. Get rid of a little silicone that's stuck on the back here. It looks like stuff. Get in here next and drill a couple holes into this thing. Drill holes out for the wiring, LED components, and all that good stuff. Yes, sir. Hope you're all doing good. What you guys got for weather today? We got a beautiful out today. Nice sunny day, high 60s. That's in the shade, almost 70. Probably 70 in the sun or so. About 65, just 66, 67, something like that, roughly. Hole drilled out. We'll have to get in here and hog this out and prep this for the router. So router this out, make a new plate, wood plate for the back. Hide most of our wiring, and then we'll have wires that pigtail out. So each step can be plugged into the next step consecutively. At least that's what I hope for. We gotta figure out though where this one's gonna go. Not quite sure yet. Normally these have been like a pond. This one's kind of more like a creek. I think this one's gonna come in this way. And I prefer though, drill it from the inside out, not from the outside in, and miss and smack the top all up. Actually, I think we're about right about there. Stressful. It's this stuff where you start messing things up usually. There we go. So we got two holes back here, which you guys can't see because I got it facing the wrong way. This is where our wiring will come out back here, but we got to router this out, make this deep groove and things so all the wiring can fit. But 35 watching, appreciate it. I give you guys an idea what's going on. Working on the stairs for a custom spiral staircase. I've been commissioned to make this look like a stream flowing down the stairs. So I have to carve each one out before we can get too much farther. And these will be steps, right? Stacked one above the other. You guys kind of see. So these will get LEDs, river stones, maybe some carved fish, other things the customer wants to put in there. And then we'll fill these with epoxy. And we'll make this have a waterfall effect down into each stair tread. That's the plan. If you want to be able to see it done, give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe with the bell hit all so you don't miss that completed video. There's 15 of these in total. I think I got 7 done. Or 8 done. I got 8 of them done, actually. Too many things happening here over the last couple weeks, slowing me down on progress. 66 and rainy in North Carolina, rainy in Kentucky. Bummer. Sunny and beautiful here in upstate New York. That's rare. gotta get these prepped so they're ready for the router. Probably won't be able to do the routing while we're live because I have to measure out and cut what the panels are gonna be and where they're gonna be. So maybe I'll save the sanding and routing for another time because that's more boring than this, right? So seems like we got a few more people watching. To give you guys a rundown of what I'm working on. Custom steps for a great big beautiful camping Lake Placid. It's 15 step staircase. It's a spiral staircase down around a tree trunk from one level to the next, okay? I've been commissioned to take the stairs and turn them into a flowing stream or a creek from one level down the whole staircase. That means I have to carve each one out. I have to kind of make this ledge all the way around so we can put LEDs in here, river stones. We may carve some fish. We may put some other items in here as well. We'll cast these with epoxy and kind of make like a waterfall effect from one down into another. Kind of give you an idea what we're looking at here. It'll kind of be about like that. Should be pretty neat. Should be pretty neat when it's done. Set that one there. See if we can get this one tidied up as well and get our hole drilled for our lights. Most of the carving is done on this. We carved most of this one live last time, but there's just a little bit of cleanup work that's got to get done, and then we'll fire up the saws and get those other two kind of blocked out. Oh, Michael, I hope it's awesome. I hope so. Hope you're all doing well. Appreciate everybody hanging out and watching. Be sure to tap that screen and hit subscribe if you want to be able to see this all done and complete. it and fatigue. Tell you what. What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Listen, 42 watching. I'll tell you guys what I'm working on. How's that sound? In case you're just tuning in, take this thing off for a minute. In case you're just tuning in, working on custom stairs for a spiral staircase. All right, the customer's got this great big beautiful log camp on Lake Placid in upstate New York. They got a tree trunk that goes from one floor up to the next. They got these great big stair treads, 5-inch thick pine treads, all right, that spiral down around this thing. I sat with the customer, we drew up what looks like a stream flowing down, and now I have to carve each one out. That's kind of what they're gonna look like when done, right? For kind of an idea here for you. So the plan is line the insides with LED lights, river stones, maybe some carved fish, a couple other items the customer wants to add. And we'll fill this with epoxy and have it waterfall over into the next step, and so on and so forth. If you want to be able to see that done, be sure to hit subscribe. Hit the bell, hit all so you don't miss the completed video when these are done. Also, if you want to pick up something a little bit smaller, something that can be shipped, you want to get some chainsaw art of mine, check out that shopping bag that's right here on the live on my main landing page. I've got pieces in there ready to go, ready to ship, and those things can be in the mail to you this week. It's free shipping in the United States as well, so get some. Get some. Also got these Carver Starve. That's what I'm wearing, right? Yeah, I got the Carver Starve shirts are in there, along with some stickers, with coffee cups, and the tools I'm using today. I think we're going to just jump right ahead, put our LED hole in that we got to put in for wiring. Hope you're all doing well. 9 thumbs up, 35 watching. Appreciate you guys. Hog that hole out for wiring and lights next. To get this one cleaned up here, I'm gonna black out those other 2, then I'll have 3 left in the shop there that got to get carved up, but these will still have to get sanded, prepped, with finished work before, some finished work before finished work. That makes sense. saws, start blocking out the other two. This will have to get sanded. We'll have to get the router, cut a space here, sand this out, hog this out a little more for the wiring and stuff, but well on its way. Land, water, water. You guys are covered in sawdust. Appreciate everybody being here. I know we kind of have like new people jumping on and off, so we are working on steps for a custom spiral staircase. We got 15 steps in total. We got quite a few of them already knocked out. Each stair tread will be carved out. And the idea is we're going to make, with epoxy and LEDs and river stones and some fish, we're going to make this thing look like a flowing creek down around this customer spiral staircase. So if anybody wants to be able to see that done, make sure you hit subscribe. Yeah, it is always, you know, I shouldn't say always. It all depends. It's beautiful weather, you know. A lot of people are probably sitting at work watching. It's okay. If anybody's interested in getting a piece, check out that shopping bag. I've got available carvings ready to ship out. You said 3. Yeah, 3. Woo! 30 people watching. Carving up custom stair treads, alright? If anybody's new, just tuning in, hit subscribe so you don't miss this final product, alright? You see this when this is all done. Take all this off for a minute. Hope you're all having an awesome day. About 70 degrees here in upstate New York. Comment where you from, what's the temperature. Always love seeing where you guys are located, what the weather's like. So this is a 15-step staircase I'm working on. Someone else went in, put in a big tree trunk, put in 15 stairs that wrap around from one level to the next. This is in a great big cabin on Lake Placid in upstate New York. I've been commissioned to take the steps, carve each one out, and create a flowing stream that cascades down from one step to the next. So carve them out, put LEDs in them, river stones, maybe carve some fish, and then we'll use epoxy to kind of fill them and create a waterfall effect so that they'll cascade from one into another. I'll be videoing, and I'll be carving live and working on these as I go, showing different aspects of it and things like that. So make sure you hit subscribe so you guys don't miss out. If you want to get a more affordable piece, something that can be shipped to you, check out that shopping tab. I got a bunch of available carvings in there ready to ship out. Go here in a little while, so let's see if we can do some chainsaw work on the other one real quick. Get both of these to this point. Number 9. Kind of jumping around. We just did 10. Guess we're working backwards. That's all right. Okay. Appreciate y'all being here, hanging out. Double tap that screen, hit subscribe if you guys are here for the first time. Available carvings in the shopping bag. You're not going to want to miss this overall project once complete. so hopefully it all goes well. It's kind of tough. You never really know when to do a custom work. Yeah, they should probably be done. We had hoped to be installing them spring, right now. That's the goal that I had set with them. The only thing is, a lot of cold weather this year, and I was really worried about bringing these outside and having the temperature drop because they've all got cracks, and I have filled the cracks with epoxy prior to carving because it's just easier. And my concern was that I would bring them out and the wood would shrink around the new epoxy and then crack again. So I didn't want to bring the stuff out in the really cold weather and have it freeze up, creating more of a problem later on. So everything's pretty much been left in the basement shop so it's had a consistent temperature. And that's kind of thrown me off for the timeline. So really got to have these things done though, you know, really before summer gets rolling. So it's all right. Just got to buckle down and try to ignore all the other crap that keeps popping up every day and just get these done. .39 people watching. Hey guys, so we're working on treads for a custom staircase. The idea is going to be we'll use epoxy, river stones, and LED lights, and we're going to line these stair treads, right, flip them on their side. This whole staircase is going to look like a flowing stream cascading from one down into the next. You guys want to be able to see what that looks like when it's done, make sure you hit subscribe. I'll have a completed video once complete. If you want to get a piece of art carving, something that I've made. Check out that shopping bag. I got pieces in there ready and available to ship. Appreciate everybody watching, hanging out. Free to comment where you're from, what's the temperature. We got some beautiful weather here in upstate New York today, running about 70 degrees or so. You know what it probably is, Michael? It's probably a bunch of people that actually like know me in person, you know? And I have come to find out those are usually the people that don't comment. They'll follow your work. They don't usually share, they don't always comment. Some do, but not many. So I just chalk it up to that. I don't want them to know I'm watching. Okay, that is awesome. What's going on, Daryl? Better late than never. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, totally. There really isn't, you know. I find myself talking to myself all the time. I do. Then I ask myself questions and I'm like, wait, is there another person in here? Never mind, it's just me. I gotta go in a little bit though. A chunk of wood smashed me in the arm. That felt good too. A little orange death machine I was just using. That thing grabs pieces and just throws them. Right, so it's spinning and everything kicks out this way and just slams into this hand and like your forearm. And then if you turn it at all, now it throws all them wood chips right at your face. It's a really fun tool to have. Super safe. Lots of good stuff. Yeah, good time. And they're not like fine sawdust. They're like those chunks I left behind are just breaking off and smashing around. Oh. So good. So good. It's always amazing. What we got a few more minutes here. We'll be able to be live. Ugh, flat tire. Unexpected stuff. It's always fun. I was telling these guys early on in the live that we caught an electrical issue in the house. Like, I smelt something on Thursday and then caught it on Friday. Thank God the house didn't burn down. But we had like the porcelain light sockets down the stairs where you head into the basement. I've smacked my head off it. The kids have 100 times because it's low. But it cracked the porcelain, and it's been that way. And for whatever reason, it has shorted out, and the plastic and the plastic wire nuts and everything were sitting there just smoldering. And you could smell it really bad Friday morning. So had to kill the power to that, which is a string of lights from my basement. But that strand that those go to also run the lights in my kitchen and a couple outlets, and then lights from my mudroom as well. This is all old wiring. So Friday started tracing wires back and labeling what went where. All this nonsense was on one breaker, just a big mess. And then spent the entire day Saturday yanking wires out of the wall, me and my brother-in-law going through this thing and just finding more problems than we wanted, and yanking out all this old wiring and then fishing all new wiring in. And then today I got the lights back on in the kitchen with a new circuit breaker, and then I've got basement lights all ran, and a new wire ran so I could put some new outlets in the kitchen. So that was fun. Yeehaw. It's always good times, you know. My goal for Saturday was to actually get a couple of these done, but that did not pan out so well. Oh man, hope y'all having a good day. Hope you're all having a good day. Alright, in case there's anybody new watching. Custom stair treads, alright. Doing work for a big camp on Lake Placid in upstate New York. They got a tree trunk from first level to the second with a spiral staircase. These are the steps. There's 15 of them. Got to carve them out. We'll line them with LEDs, river stones, and we'll use epoxy to make this flow from one to the next. Basic look. As they go down and wrap around. Each tread's different to give that feel of a flowing stream or flowing creek. So this will cascade into one, cascade into the next. Again, these ledges will be LEDs, and we'll do river stones. We might do some fish. We'll do some other things that the customer wants to put in there as well. If you want to be able to see this project done, be sure to hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit all so you guys don't miss uploads or lives working on it. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in today. What's up, Bear and the Boss Lady? Appreciate you guys being here. Baby kisses, what is up? Yeah, it sucks. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. Hopefully you guys get to enjoy this weather today. Well, you guys have different weather. I got decent weather today. Whew, wow, took that off, that's all. Crusty and dusty right there. Well now, I gotta get ready to go. I gotta go clean up. One of the kids has a lacrosse game, so I gotta get ready to go watch that and hang. Appreciate everybody that's been here though, and that has showed up. Baby kisses, what's happening? 81, North Carolina, nice. Hope you're all doing well. Whew. Oh, good. Hopefully we'll do some carving of animals here in the near future. I gotta get these done though. So out of the 4 I had out here, 2 are all shaped up, ready for sanding, and 2 more need to get shaped up and sanded. So hopefully we can get these four wrapped up maybe tomorrow late afternoon, because Thursday I got 3 more that I want to get out here, and hopefully Thursday I can get them, the last 3 to this point, and get these set aside. So that's what I'm hoping for. If things work out, you know how that goes. Every time I make a plan, it seems like something comes up, something happens, and it doesn't go to plan, like every single time lately, and it's driving me nuts. I gotta roll though. I appreciate everybody that was tuning in. If you guys want to see the spiral staircase complete, be sure to hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit all, because I will end up having a video once it's installed. We're gonna keep going live though, working on this project. I'll give you guys insight as well when we start to do epoxy pouring and things like that. So should be fun. Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully it's not a total catastrophe. Listen, I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. All right. I appreciate you guys. Have an awesome rest of your day. Hopefully I'll